What's up YouTube, Day of Zephyr Games. Bringing you a video that's being requested by a couple of you guys. So after our Dark Magician kind of week, where we went through 7 different Dark Magician decks and combos that kind of works with them. You've got like your Dracos, you had your Pendulums, you had your Demise version, you had the Invoked version. There's 7 different versions that you could trial out. You've got the Virus engine as well. So there's absolutely loads up for grabs for you guys to kind of see and how Dark Magician can cooperate and synergize with these different variations. And as requested, quite a few of you have asked for my opinion on the decks, which one I feel is the best, and kind of just a breakdown in general of my process, I suppose. So what I will like to do is I'd like to say thank you to those that mentioned with the Dark Magician Draco deck that something that just slipped my mind is playing Oracle Mahard. Now obviously for those of you who don't know, Oracle Mahard is a level 7 that came out in the movie pack, which in theory was the Blue Eyes alternate version for Dark Magician, but not as busted. If you drew it, and it was the last thing to resolve, it would special summon itself. If it attacked a dark monster, it would become 5k, so it was kind of like a nice little out to Blue Eyes Chaos Max. And then if it was destroyed by battle or card effect, it would special summon a Dark Magician from deck. So in the Draco version, if you use Diagram to pop it, you would get a Dark Magician straight away to board. So thinking about that, I've actually been looking into the deck a little bit more now, and it might actually be quite beneficial to use a fusion version as well, put Eye of Timaeus in there with Oracle Mahard, because if Mahard's so easy to pop and get rid of and get a Dark Magician to board so consistently, then why not go into the Dragon Knight and protect your Draco spells and traps from your opponent's card effects, so that they can't then, you know, disrupt you when you want to tribute summon or move cards forward. My other theory behind using the Draco engine is because for stuff like Eternal Soul, it can be your biggest weakness, but you can actually use it to your advantage. So for example, if someone went and MST drew Eternal Soul, you could go, cool, chain one of the true Draco cards, one of the true Draco traps, tributing off the Eternal Soul and maybe the Dark Magician or one of the monsters is going to be destroyed, bring out a Masterpiece that's immune by traps. The Eternal Soul will then resolve in the graveyard to destroy the board, and because your Masterpiece is immune by traps, it would then survive that. Then you can chain your Astrograph Magician or Astrograph Sorcerer and or your Magician of Dark Illusion in your hand, and you've actually recovered your board. You've then got a Masterpiece, a Magician of Dark Illusion, and an Astrograph if you play the Astrograph in there. If not, if you've got a Circle on board, you can activate Circle. Circle would then banish a card, and you would then get to revive a Dark Magician because you've got your Magician of Dark Illusion on board. On top of that, your Masterpiece could then banish your Eternal Soul to pop one of your opponent's cards. So you've kind of turned what your opponent would think to you as a negative in like destroying your Eternal Soul, nuking up your board, into a hugely powerful positive of being able to banish a card and destroy a card, or at the very least destroy a card with your Masterpiece. So I personally feel that the Draco version has quite a lot of potential in this upcoming meta, along with less so the Virus engine. I think the Viruses need to wait until the Lair of Darkness set comes out, because when that comes out, I think the Viruses would then get another boost up in this version, and you can probably put a Dark Magician and Diablos kind of deck together and see how that operates, which I will be doing. The Pendulum version, again, is also very, very cool as well. It can obviously flood the board quite easily, but on the downside, because you're trying to complement both sides of the engine, all it really does is merit the consistency of getting the Dark Magician easier on board. Other than that, because you pollute the Pendulum engine too much, you can't focus on the strong plays. And at the end of the day, I think a pure Pendulum version is better on its own as a single deck than it is with the Dark Magicians. But it's still a very, very powerful deck. Now the Card of Demise version, now that we've got a very, very nice reprint off of those, Card of Demise version is again very, very good. But it does rely on going first too much, exactly like the Virus engine as well. So if you're relying on going first too much, you do have to have an alternate in your side deck that if you do, let's say you win the first game and they're going to make you go second, you do have to then change that out so Dark Magicians can then operate in the appropriate manner. So maybe shifting in your hand traps on that sense. The Invoked engine, again, is very, very good in the deck, but the biggest issue with the Invoked engine is the restriction on your different type of attributes. Like, you have to lose hand traps in order to get your mechbas unless you're going second. So an invoked engine going second is probably a bit more consistent. So there is the ability of swapping between a demise version. Like, if you're going first, you put the demise engine in. If you're going second, you can swap that out for the Windwitch engine, or of course the invoked engine. So it can catch your opponent by surprise, and they'll be like, whoa, what the hell? The fusion engine, or the fusion version with the Dragon Knight, is really, really fun. And the biggest shame for me is Eye of Timaeus isn't searchable. If Eye of Timaeus was searchable by either Rod or Circle, not an issue. I'd probably be maining it every single time, at least 2, because I really, really like it. But because it's not searchable, it does slow the deck down quite a lot and give the deck consistency issues. It's still fun to play. It's very, very good at local level. And like I said, if you wanted to kind of smash some of them together, putting the fusions with the Dracos is probably a better marriage in that sense, to kind of take a slower deck and speed it up with the backing of a masterpiece in that census. The Windwitch Artifact engine, artifacts are always going to be dangerous, especially with Dark Magician, because your opponent doesn't want you to have back row. Your opponent wants to destroy your back row. But when they start destroying artifacts, especially Sanctums, they're losing too. Like, if they pop a Sanctum, you're then popping a card and you can bring out a more attack and pop another card, or you're popping a card and bringing a Scythe out and they're like, crap, I now can't access my extra deck. And it can be very, very good, but again, with the artifact version, it relies on going first too much. In regards to the Windwitch engine, there's too many disruptive hand traps. It gets hit by all of the hand traps that are being played right now. Your Ashes, your Drolls, in the sense that you would then not be able to use your Dark Magician Rod kind of search. And of course it gets hit with your Ogres and your Veilers. So it can be a bit problematic, which is why it's probably not as consistent as once was. But if your opponent doesn't open up with a hand trap, then you're free to go off and you can actually cause huge amounts of problems having an indestructible Crystal Wing on board. Now, I've kind of touched on every kind of one of the decks that I did over the past week. I'm glad you guys enjoyed them. I got a lot of positive feedback from them. I just like to show off my passion for the Dark Magician deck itself and the variations that it has. Now, Pure has obviously been my most successful, if you've seen that video for the regional one. And that was using and abusing the fact that everyone had Ash Blossoms. So with everyone having Ash Blossoms, I wanted to have enough draw engine that even if they stopped one, I still had the ability to move into another one. So that, again, is very, very optional for you. I think the Card of Demise version will definitely get a boost when Designator comes out, because you can play your Pot of Dualities, Pot of Desires, and of course your Card of Demise without worrying too much about your opponent. The biggest issue with that is you would have already set your Designator, and then because it's a quick play, you can't then use it that turn. So you have to be very, very cautious when you do. Regardless, I just wanted to keep this a quite short but informative video. If you do have any other questions regarding Dark Magicians or any other decks you see up on this channel, please just ask. We are more than happy to answer any questions you have, and of course help you out by giving you, some like different tips or suggestions to help improve your decks, or even little texts that we might have missed out that you've mentioned, exactly like the Oracle Mahad. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Until next time, guys, as always. Oh, actually, before I go, if there are any series that you would like to see, maybe a little bit shorter than Dark Magicians, maybe free decks, or kind of like a series of a deck, a test hand, or a combo video, and then a talk about the deck, then let us know and we'll try and put those together for you as well. I'm pretty sure Joe would be more than happy to talk about some of his decks, especially starting off with DDD as well. That would be a very, very nice one for you guys to see. But let us know. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Check out our Legendary Collection Kyber case opening to see the ratios and if it's worth picking up for yourself. Until next time, guys, as always, happy dueling. Also, YouTube, thanks for watching that video. I hope you liked it. If you did, hit that like button. And of course, don't forget to hit that big red subscribe button in the bottom left-hand corner and the notification bell so you don't miss out on anything. We've got more deck profiles, duels, pack openings, and many more Yu-Gi-Oh! Videos coming up for you all year round. So don't forget to stay tuned for all of that. Thanks, and as always, guys, happy dueling.